Hello.
There we go. Hello.
Hello, Jay.
Hello. I know I always forget to
Hello.
take mute off. Good morning. Okay, good. Alrighty. Hey, Johnny, how are you?
Doing good.
Good.
Good
Alrighty.
morning.
So, all right. So y'all be watching Johnny, observing him through his workflow. And again, just go ahead and ask him any questions. He'll be sharing his
Okay.
screen, and so that way you can see how he does this thing. Johnny,
Thank
take it
you.
away.
Okay. Hyde and Daniel. Okay. All right, hey, let me share my screen.
Do we leave the cameras on or you want it off?
Hmm. I'll leave mine on. I don't. We,
You
we'll
don't want
make
to
it
see me
different.
all day?
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Share. Trying to see how I can share both screens, but I don't think that's going to be possible.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. All right. So usually a morning comes in, and the way I organize my emails is the only way I can do this job is to stay organized. If you lose track of your emails, you're gonna lose track of answering people on time, and it turns into this big old mess. That's usually what stresses most people out about this job, is you lose track of things. So the way I've organized my stuff is I flag it when I receive it, like this one. This email's new. I mark it like that. That means I haven't done it,
Okay.
and then that way I don't have to read right away what it is. Later on, I quickly can glance at it, see what they want.
Johnny, I have a question.
Hmm.
If I have a question, do I raise my hand here on Teams or I just say?
No, I'll just say it. It's just us three.
Okay. Okay.
It's like you're sitting next to me. It's no big deal.
Okay. So when you start your day, you always start with the email. So basically, all of my workflow always came via email, or how does
Yes.
it operate?
Yeah,
Okay.
everything's via email for the most part. So tickets, I guess if that's what you're used to calling it, this is your to-do list of tickets, questions, problems, things you need to settle. The other thing that you might do, and that I do, let me see if I can get this to work right. There you go. I'll print out questionnaires and things like that. So let's say I have a job, problem arose about it, but I might not have it on my email anymore, or I might forget about it. I write the specific note on it. It says material ETA, question mark, when are we going to get it?
Okay.
So I have a little stack of hot things I got to keep an eye on that I
I
physically keep next to me.
I think it's important for you to know that my background experience, at least for me, it's always been like on call center type of jobs.
Hmm.
So I'm always used to just sitting down and receiving the call and just like handle it from there. So basically, from I understand now, I will be getting like an email with the customer information, the PO basically, and from that I work on.
Yes. Instead of phone calls, it'll mostly be 80, 90% emails.
Okay.
Um, phone calls might come in when they have questions or uh, they have a problem that came up with their order.
Like a
And they,
real urgent, right?
hmm that's when the phone call will come in, and that's fine too. But for the most part, it's all emails over here. So just the way I usually check is in the morning I come in, I'll have, here, let me mark it so that way y'all can see what I do. All right, so let's say it's morning, I come in, all of my unreads are highlighted this color. Right away, I just click them like this because they're not done.
Mm.
And then I go through them real quick and see what they need. So let's see, let's start with this guy. Okay, so I sent this customer an insurance, proof of insurance for our business. He says he needs their company marked as a certificate holder. I don't know who or how would do this, so I'll ask my accounting lady again to help with that. And if not, I might CC our boss, Zach. Ask him what we need to do. So I drag and drop the insurance card. I'm going to copy the explanation of the customer and what they need. Since I don't know if that she's the one that handles it, I'm asking her if she can help. And if she can't, she will point me in the right direction of who can. But odds are it should be her. And then that's it. In most cases, what you want to reply back if you're waiting for an answer is you reply back to the customer as soon as you're already done with what you were doing. That's it. That way he knows you received it, you're working on it. You already sent it off to who you need to. And then since this is not technically done, that's
That
tomorrow.
was what I'm about to ask you. Like,
Now it's marked for
not,
tomorrow.
It's not solved. Ah, okay, you mark it for tomorrow.
So, and then it falls over here, right here. So this is all my to-do stuff for today.
That's nice.
And then this is stuff that's set up for tomorrow. And then now I know, even though this is really congested and full of things that I need to do, I see that, I know I don't need to worry about it. I can focus on things. So the way I have it filtered is I got to follow up on it. Boop. That's it.
Okay.
So that's the one of the simple ways that I try to avoid missing something. I still miss things here and there occasionally. The ones that I do not want to miss are these, the blue ones. These are POs, and my purple ones, which are quotes. And then if I have a PO with a quote that's pending, I mark it blue and purple. So it's a PO with a quote.
Okay.
All right. So now we're working back up to what we have here. Customer sent me 2 POs. Just asking me to confirm them. All right. So what we first thing we do is, all right, now I know they're POs. I'm marking POs. And now I
Why
review.
does it say to go ahead and release the 25, the 205, and
See, he included 3 POs on this one. So my customer he has consignment POs and he has standard POs. So what he's telling me here, he's telling me to release parts from this consignment PO when he says that. Please issue the release for that PO. And we'll get to that one in a little bit. So what we review here is check pricing. I wonder if I can shift it, my screen. I guess not. Okay.
maybe you can change some themes like this. Oh, just move
I'll
it
just
over.
drag it. Oh, y'all can see it. So has LJ explained our ENT program and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more or less yesterday, but a lot of information.
Yeah, so the way I set up my ENT is I have my all jobs section window. So this is our active jobs. Oh, I don't need to see all that. And then I have a second window that's just for my estimates.
Okay.
That way I can quickly bounce up and down between things. So then I'm going to search for this specific part for a PO that I just got, because we need to check that we have quotes that have good or accurate pricing
Okay.
before we even enter the order. So there are multiple parts. There are quotes from this long ago. I'm going to go and quickly look, and I
I have a
see
question,
that.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
So basically, back to basics. Like, I understand that we receive the POs, but the client makes their own POs on their system. How do they get like the number of the parts that we have?
They get quotes. So I'll show you that one too. Um,
Yeah,
so,
like what's the process for me to receive in that thing?
okay. Let me see if I have one that's here. Let's start from. Let me see if I have one that we can start from the start, so you can understand it. Okay, here's a good one. All right, so this customer sent me in a quote request. Started about last week. He sent me this. So Daniel, most things will start like this. Hey, can you quote this for me? Please quote the following. I want 1,000, 2,500, 5,000 pieces of this.
Okay.
And then he tells you the dimensions. They are this size and printed on the roll. So he wants them on the roll. Okay. I reply, I tell him, thank you for the quote, but in order to provide it, I need more information. I tell him I need materials.
Right.
What kind of finish do you want on it? What adhesives do you need? Where is it going to get used at? Things like that. Because he didn't give me an official drawing. He just kind of gave me a little screen grab. And that's not enough to quote. So later on, he sends in the form. And then right here, he fills it out.
Where did you get the form to send it to him?
We'll supply it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
So he filled it out with all these details. So now we have an idea of what he wants that's a little bit more detailed. Okay. The problem is he still didn't really give us the finish. What kind of finish is required for the label? And the finishes are important because these are all the little tiny details that go into labels that you don't really think about when you're looking at everything. Labels are in everything. It can go from the minuscule jack stand that you use to work on your car to some little tiny electric label that goes on the electronics on the inside of your phone that you're never going to see.
Yeah.
These are all things that we do, but the engineers and the people that design them, they care a lot about the finish and the way it's going to look when they put it on their product, even though you might not even see it or pay attention to it over time. So the finish also is important because it's going to change the material that we need to use. So that's why I asked them, even after they sent me all that important information back, you know what? Is it possible for you to just send me a sample? So I said, thank you for providing the details. We still need a bit more information. So this is me replying back to him so that we can quote it accurately. We need a sample to determine the finish of the part because we don't want to waste our time when estimating because they have a lot of estimates to go through. And if we do this and then we send them a part and then we make a prototype and then they change their idea. And then we already wasted time on 2 quotes, wasted time running a prototype that they don't like. So we're just trying to be efficient.
We as customer service, we also like make quotes for them. Like isn't this part of the sales process, or it's just like a combination of both?
So you don't necessarily make the pricing for the quote. You gather the information for the quote, and
Uh-huh.
then you make the basic outline and submit the quote request.
Okay.
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 The quote process entry process is rather simple. So what you need to focus on when you're getting quotes is gather all the details. Make sure you have everything that was outlined in. Let's see here. Here, let me find this email and I can actually send it to you. Here we go.
Checklist.
So this is our checklist that we need to make sure we try to have before we even send in a quote.
Okay.
Okay. We already have emails for you all set up.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
It'll be DL. It's DL Lozano. There it is. And then Jair's is JA.
No, that's J.
Like J.
Oh,
JAI or there it is.
Jair Vasquez. Okay. All right. Okay. So when the customer sends you that email, like the current one that we were working on over here, where did he go?
the first one, it said like print this, right?
He says, "I need this." That's basically how it all starts. They come by and they tell you, "I need this. Can you make it?" And you're like, let me ask you a few questions. So what's missing in that email from him is a lot. We don't have the material he wants to use, and most adhesives have the base material, the adhesive, and then maybe a laminate. If he has a recommendation, we ask him please call it out. He did give us dimensions, so that was good. He gave us colors. Not really, because red can be many different reds, and even blacks can be many different blacks. You could have a bluish black, you could have a purplish black, you can have a grayish black. So it,
What are we expecting on that part on the colors, like the code?
yeah, PMS codes. Have y'all ever heard
I know
about that?
them from Paint.
Okay, good. So we use PMS a lot to help. That's something that we actually ask if they're able to provide it. But in this case, we have a sample. Let's see.
Okay.
See if I can get it to focus.
So in this case, he didn't send you the codes, but he had sent you the sample, and with the sample, then we can reverse
Yeah.
engineer the colors.
Yeah, with the sample, and if you'll notice, the finish on it is not gloss, and it's not matte. It's more of a satin.
Right.
Mhm.
So now that we have that, I'm gonna go ahead and pack it up and send it to my estimating team so they can quote it with the right finish per the sample.
Estimating team.
Mhm.
Who are they?
That would be Zach, Bob, and Angus, and Kay assists with purchasing of materials and also with outside purchasing of parts or orders. So orders that we have to send outside of the shop to get made.
Okay.
So we have a lot of we make a lot of parts in house here in the shop.
Mhm.
But sometimes things like membrane switches, those have to get sent out to get made because we don't have the equipment to print the circuitry.
Mhm.
And occasionally we don't have the equipment to do hot embossing or heated embossing for parts.
Jonathan, another question. in this case, well, you managed to tell the customer, "Hey, just send me like a sample so I can figure it out from there." But in my case, when if I'm not in the office, like I have to ask them like the codes and like the checklists, right?
Mhm.
And that's it.
Yeah, so your main goal is going to be that. And then, if you see in my example, I did the whole process, and at the end, we still needed the samples after all.
Mhm.
And really, it comes down to the part. And maybe if he would have put the finish that he wanted on there, we wouldn't have needed the samples, but he didn't, and he didn't know what to put on it. So I figured, I decided, you know what? Let me just get a sample and get this rolling because it's taking too long.
Okay.
And we don't
How
want to
much
make
is
him
too?
mad. We don't want to make him antsy. Just try to. Our job is to make them feel like they're being listened to, and we're trying to move a project along.
Mhm.
Because sometimes if you don't put a little pressure to ease the situation, they'll let it drag, and you won't hear from them for a week or two, and then it's week 4, and they're like, "I need them yesterday." I'm like, "Well, I can't help you with that." But
And even if you do need to request a sample, you can always have it shipped directly to the office and we can give you the address for that. And that
Mhm.
way our team can look at it from here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And I
yeah,
can just like I don't know, just call Jonathan like, "Hey, Jonathan, you received it."
yeah, yeah. You can reach out to Sheila, or LJ, me, anybody that if they're on vacation, we'll set up who's the next person you need to reach out to so that we can help get that part packed up and marked up and given to estimating so that they can review it.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
All right, so let's see, where are we at? So this I got the samples. I'm gonna go ahead and pack them up here in a little bit. Y'all probably don't need to see that bit since y'all will never do it. But we get samples in. You tell one of us that we are receiving it, and then let me see if I have a quote for it already. If not, y'all gonna get to see me write up a quote for it.
Okay.
Okay, so I go to my estimating window. My customer is Hager. Yep, Hager. Okay. Oh, all right. So I did write it up. So here it is. I marked it P because it's not done.
P is pending, I guess, and W done.
Pending, won, lost, killed,
Ah,
and then the active. The ones that you're always going to mark everything P. You
Okay.
really aren't going to select anything else here. Other departments are going to be the ones that mark this here, unless you get. You'll mark it P and maybe occasionally killed.
That would be when the customer decides to not proceed.
Correct.
Okay.
Or let's say you started writing it, like you got an email from Hager here, and there's no way for us to move forward after multiple attempts to get the information we need to make the quote.
Okay.
We can probably mark killed after we've attempted maybe 3 times in the course of a week or two, asking them, "Hey, when are you going to send a sample? Have you figured out what you wanted for that material?" Things like that. And if you get no reply and it's just a dead end, you mark killed, and now you know not to mess with that quote. You write down what happened, attempted to reach out for so and so laminate, no response, sign and date, like this, and then you save it, and then that's it.
Okay.
So in this case, we have sample requested. See how I put a note, requested sample for label on the 30th?
mhm.
All right. I didn't remember doing that, but I have a note that says I did.
Okay.
And now we have sample in hand. So in this case, we need the sample for the finish, so I specify that.
Every time that we leave a comment or something like that, I always sign it with my initials and the date of today, right?
Yeah, that way we know who made it, and then if we have questions, we know who to go ask.
And the text I leave before is freehand depending on the situation, right? There is not like a standard like thing to leave.
No, just I would try to keep it as simple, not too overly complicated.
Okay.
Because sometimes if you put like everything, it'll get lost. That's
I get it.
my personal preference. You're gonna see other CSs do it different, but I prefer to keep it simple because when I am trying to gather information, I will get overwhelmed if you put too much.
Okay.
So if it's important, you put it there. And this is what I'm telling you to do with the sample. Use the sample to quote the finish, period. Other details that are going to be needed, I'm going to include them over here. So you can also include smaller details in that in there. Since we don't have a official drawing, you can put this here. So we can add that. Since that's an instruction the customer gave, he wanted them this size. So now we know, make them this way, put them on the roll, and use the sample for the finish. Okay, and now we can go, since he didn't give me a drawing, I had to make up a name for it. The simple one is it's a Hager logo label. Until he gives me something else, that's what we're going to use as a placeholder for now. It does. This is not permanent up until the point that they order it. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So he told me he wanted 1,000. And these are going to be blank. Let's see. So you're gonna open it up. You're gonna click description. It automatically pulls everything in that you filled out on the window before.
Nice. Okay.
You never want to include anything on here because in the future, all this detail is going to get printed out and given to the customer in their shipments. We don't want that.
Okay.
So always remove things on the component one. When you go into this line, you're going to see it here and they look similar. So be careful about that. See, look exactly the same.
Okay.
But this window comes from here and you want to remove that information. Sometimes you're going to put like things that they might want to see, like if they're prototypes, or yeah, line item, or there might be multiple parts. So you could have like, oh, this, there you go, logo X, and then each logo is different. So you would put logo 1, 2, 3, where 1, 2, and 3 are interchangeable for that one. So that's what you might see, and that's one way to organize parts that are similar in size and shape. And then now you don't have to write 3 quotes. You can only write 1, but for 3 different parts.
Oh, okay.
Those are the things that you would leave there. But anything like this up here, you don't want it. They don't need to see that. All right, so he wanted 1,000. 500. I believe 5,000. Make sure. 5,000.
Why 100 to 500? Yes, 5,000. Sorry, my numbers. Why did they give you three quantities?
Because there's different prices. Pricing will be more expensive per piece at 1,000 compared to 5,000.
Oh, because they're buying more, right?
Right. So it'll be like either way, it costs us $500 to, let's say, pay the operator and set up things. So 500 divided by 1,000, that's 50 cents. But for the same setup, if we run 5,000, now it's 10 cents instead of 50 cents. So
yeah, so he's asking like, hey, quote me 1,000 of this and 5,000 of this, just to see which one is better. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So he might need 1,000 a week, but 5,000 is what he would use for the year. or every 3 quarters, he might use this. And this is for 6 months worth. So he's just trying to calculate what's going to be best for him to buy, depending on his demand.
I get it.
If a customer doesn't do that, at what point do we upsell them?
We don't have any idea of what he needs currently.
Okay.
These quantities are in our sweet spots of what we want to produce for them.
Okay.
Our sweet spot's pretty much 0 all the way up to like 10,000.
Got it.
Above that, depending on the part, it might be a lot, but we're not gonna say no.
Okay.
If they want 100,000 and of a really small label like this one, that's doable because it's gonna be on a roll. I mean, look how tiny this thing is. It's the size of my finger.
Okay.
That's not hard for us to produce. That doesn't take a lot of time. We can cut multiples in one run. It's easy. But we can get things like that are bigger. No, they get that big. Or you can get a big box like that metal one back here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it's all over the place.
Mm.
We
But
don't.
basically, what the customer needs, right? Like, I
Yeah.
don't go and offer him like, hey, you can do that because I don't know.
We don't know his demand yet.
Yeah.
You could ask him and tell him, hey, what's your forecasted for these? He might tell you, I'm only going to need 2,500 maybe, and then that's what he's actually asking. So usually I would only ask that question if he only gives me like one quantity. It's nice that he gave me 3. That gives us a good window because we don't want to give him too much data. Where if he buys 250, it's this much, and then 2, 3, 5, 1,000, and then 2,000, and then every price break in between. It'll make it harder for you in the future when he enters a PO, and it opens the door for him to have errors in his PO pricing
Okay.
because he's going to see a lot of numbers in his quotes, and he might pull the one for the one below it. So in this case, I wouldn't try upselling anything. It's a new part. I don't know the history of it. I don't know what his demand's going to be, and he is actually in general a new customer. So
Okay.
I don't know how to treat him just yet. But I'll get the feel for it, and y'all will get the feel for your customers too as time progresses, and you get to know your buyers personally and talk to them more.
How did he contacted you? How did he got your email? Is there like a normal email where it gets sent it to the CS team or something like that?
Let's see how I got him. Okay, so the history of Hager is I had an old customer named Tucker, and they went out of business.
Mm.
But this company was using the trucks that have labels from that other company. Here we go. So we already had history with another company. He bought this company out, and he reached out to me because they had our name in the documents that produced their labels. So that's how we
Okay.
got a hold of this guy.
Okay, my question was more like how I'm going to receive like those type of emails. I need to look for the customers, or that's not my job. And like,
At the moment, I think it's going to be rather passive of what they want you to do
Okay.
until y'all get caught up.
Mm.
Okay.
but you do search customers, right? Like you out of your way to look for leads.
Yes.
Or this
Okay.
okay. So customer service is like also sales.
Yes. You're. It's a junior sales position, really.
Okay.
You try to gather things as you walk by, and you see an opportunity, you grab it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking. Okay,
Yeah,
like
that's
that's
usually how I
also
do it.
part of my responsibility.
So in this case, you could use this as a thank you for this quote. I'm going to get this working on you. Let me know if there's any more.
Exactly. Okay,
Okay.
I get it.
And that's how you're going to try to help grow these guys. He might tell you no, or he's like, maybe in a couple of weeks. So then you park it and you put a reminder for yourself. Follow up on this guy a couple of weeks and ask him again. He might not reply. But what they've always told us is even if they don't reply, at least you're in the top of their mind, reaching out to them. They see your name, they see our company name. It'll be the first thing he thinks about when he needs something. He'll reach out to you first.
What happens when you don't get any more emails? Like, do you
Oh.
now get to? You need to get a look.
Oh, there's plenty to do.
Okay.
You won't be bored. All right, so let me finish this quote up. All right, so we had an estimate for it already. All right, 2220 84. Okay, so all right, so I sent it to my estimating team. This was the reply back. They told me this is not enough info to quote accurately. We need a sample to determine the finish. All right, so I got it. I'm gonna reply back to my estimator.
Estimator. First time I heard that word.
Eventually, the goal is for me too, but we'll see. Samples received. I'll drop it off. Okay. All right, so we have the quote there. All right. Okay, so if I technically have it done, but not done, I'll probably have to do that one after lunch once I let you all go. Next on their to-do list is this customer is telling me there's a difference and there's been a change in contact information. There's a new address. The thing is that they don't tell me is when they're moving. Let's see. Maybe they've already moved. Okay, so let's say you get this email. What we're going to do is we're going to try to find our customer. Make sure it's you're assigned to it and it's yours first and foremost. And we're going to click it. All right, so it is the right one. All right, so what we're going to need is we're going to need this account number. And we made sure they're the same company, OCM USA, OCM US LLC. Yep, right here. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to go ahead and forward this to our accounting team and have them update the information on the back end of ENT. And I think Nikki is out on vacation this week, so that's why I'm using the broad accounting email, or else I would just email her directly.
Hey, Johnny, that says a LifeLock at the end of it.
Oh, good catch. I don't know why I talked to Lock. There we go. That's the right one. So normally you could just tell them here, we need to update this, but sometimes it's best to give a little instruction of what you need. In this case, I said, let me know when it's been updated. So tell me when it's done. We put the account number after we've confirmed it's the right one. That way they don't have to go looking for all that information. So you've already packed everything up in a nice little package for them and made their job easier. Then you send it off, and that's it.
They just need the account number then. That's it.
And the attachment of the change.
Like the account number is basically like everything all departments use to find the customers. Is that correct?
Yeah, because when you search by customer name, it could be hard to find sometimes.
Can give you okay.
There might be spacing or it's not what you think it is based on what it's called out here. See how it says OCM USA? Over here it says OCM US.
Mm-hmm. So always share the account number.
So our job was to make sure everything matched and then give them a nice, easy, searchable number, which is their account number.
Got it.
And then we reply back to her, thank you, we'll update it. All right, so we handled the ticket, replied back, it's done. Nothing left to do. Now we can move on to the next one. Okay, so let's see. We sent out a quote to this customer. That's what this email means. And now she has a request. She wants a hole without an eyelet, like the one on the left as attached. Let's see what she
What does
wants.
that mean?
I don't know. Let's see. She sent me a photo.
Okay.
All right, so she wants a hole without the eyelet like the one on the left. So that's what she said. Can you please requote with and without strings? So I imagine this is what we've done.
He wants the one on the left instead of the right.
Yeah. Let's look it up. If you have questions, you can always try looking it up, see what happens.
Mhm.
Ah, here we go. What's the difference between a grommet and an eyelet? Okay, so a grommet is two pieces.
Mhm.
An eyelet,
It's just a circle, isn't it?
yep, it's just a stamped ring. This is a single piece. All right, so now we know now we both know what the difference is. Okay, so now we can actually explain it to our estimating team better as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and forward this. It up to estimating team. Gonna find the quote number, which is right here. See how it's marked A?
Uh-huh.
It's no, you're gonna have to mark it P again because it has to go under review once more.
Okay.
Because you're gonna send it in for review again.
For re-review. Okay.
Review. All right, so what she wants is without eyelet. That doesn't make sense though. The eyelet is metal. So does she not want one with metal? I'll have to ask my estimators how they quoted it. If we quoted it with a metal ring or just a hole punched out.
In
If we
this
quote-
case, sorry.
Go ahead.
In this case, like you can call the customer. Is that possible, or do I
Mhm.
need for they to
Yeah.
call us?
Yeah, we can call them. That would be one way to do it. I'm gonna ask my guys, since I can't call them right now. Hey, did we quote it with metal or not? And if we quoted it with metal, I'll tell them, all right, they want it without metal. And that'll
get
be
it.
one way to solve it. Another thing that we can do is we can actually dig in a little deeper. So we load up the attached images, load up the quote from the company that we're using. Doesn't really say. Okay, that one's just emails, so that's not going to be what we need. Doesn't look like there's a metal ring on that one.
No.
So NSI also provides them. You would also do it with the metal ring.
We can make whatever the customer wants. What I'm
Okay.
trying to confirm is, did we quote them with metal rings or not? And he's, because their email is not clear, but I'm trying to figure this out before I send them another email. Ask them, can you be more clear? You want the metal or not? Doesn't really state it here. That's just a copy of their file they wanted us to print. You know what? It's not clear. Let's ask them. I work with Vicky all the time, so it's not a big deal. Easy. Do you want the metal? Yes, no. And I'm not understanding because she says she wants a hole without an eyelet, but then she says the one on the left like attached. So that's saying both things to me. So we'll do that. That's now marked as a quote. And technically it's tomorrow until she replies back. Once she replies back, it'll bump it all the way up to the top and mark it blue. Hopefully she replies back while we're on the phone and you'll actually get to see that. All right, so as you can see, it gets kind of congested in the emails here.
Bear be just a moment. We're gonna go for some water.
Okay. Okay, so I asked Christina to give me the certificate. Christina will be sending that to the insurance to have them added. All right, so we don't need to reply back to him. I already told him I'm working on it. We're still working on it. And we're going to leave that alone for tomorrow. Next problem. Mark it undone. What is he doing? All right, so this is another quote with a sample that he needs.
I'm back, by the way.
Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, so this customer sent this originally. everything looks like it has everything we need. We have the material thicknesses, the tolerances, the material that we need to use, the temperature it needs to survive, the kind of backing or carrier, but it doesn't tell us the adhesive that we need to use or anything like that, or the maximum thickness allowable.
And do we
Usually
need
there's
to? Oh, sorry.
usually there's a drawing. It shows you the front face, and then it'll show you the side face, and we should have like a little line with a thickness designation, but it doesn't.
2 questions. How do I know that? And where do I put that information?
With practice and your checklist.
Okay.
Practice in your
But
checklist. So if you go
I
through your
need
whole
to.
checklist, and because you're not going to get it right all the time, because look, I said he sent me this. I told him I'm going to work on your quote. Wait until you hear back from our vendor on material. So our estimating teams has a drawing. They're checking to see where we can source that material from. He circles back and asks me, "Hey, you got an update for this?" I check with my team, and they still haven't worked on the quote. Okay.
Who needs to work on the code? I thought we work
So-
on the code.
Yes, I submit the quote to my estimating team. Once it's out of your hands, you don't touch the quote anymore until you get feedback or the quote gets sent out.
Oh, okay.
hmm
So the code is being sent out by the estimating team, not by me.
You send it to them via email
To the estimating team.
to the estimating team, and then it goes into their workflow, and you don't touch it until either they have questions that you need to clear up, which is what happens over here.
Okay.
Here. So I sent that file, the one that you just saw, this one. Estimating team came back and told me, does the stated material thickness include the adhesive? If not, then how thick of an adhesive can we use? This is a shim, so thickness could be important. Also, what is the adhesive adhering to? We don't have anything that tells us. So that goes back to that checklist where you find out what it's going to be stuck on, things like that. So just follow the basic of the checklist. I told them I don't know. When I asked them, this is what they sent me. And I'd ask them for a sample. So it's been a couple of weeks. It's been almost a month. And the customer said, I forgot to send it. He's going to send it to me tomorrow. All right, so we're going to have another sample, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did for Hager. We're going to reply back to our estimating team, sample received, please use it for quoting. And then that's where you would tell us, hey, samples in-house for quoting so-and-so, please make sure estimating gets it. And that's it. And then you reply to the customer, thank you, I have your sample once you have it. Or once you receive confirmation from us here in the home office that we have it, then you can tell the customer it's received, working on your quote.
Okay, I'm getting it. I'm already joining points on the process.
Yeah. Where is it? All right, so. All right, so he will let me know once the sample's on its way. Okay. Nothing for me to do, nothing to reply back, but he might forget to send it again. So I can set up a reminder for next week if I still don't have any notice. If, let's say, Thursday comes along, he says, here's your sample, I'm going to have this one floating around somewhere in the bottom. I'll just mark it done and then focus on the other one.
You have a good system with your flags. I'm gonna copy it.
It's very useful. Yeah.
And I like using conversation mode because then I don't have to search for it.
Mhm.
The only problem with conversation mode, which is why I use the flags, is because sometimes they'll reply and then it'll get lost in between.
Yeah.
So you got to watch out for that part. That's the only problem with this method. It won't bump it up to the top. Sometimes you'll have a lot of new emails and then it'll get mixed, like what's happening right now. So just watch out for that. Okay. So this one, I'll mark it for next week. All right, I don't have to worry about it. All right, so this customer is probably asking for, oh, and I forgot to mark it what it was. This is for a quote, so now I know what it is. Okay, so most of your, you know how you were asking how you get quote requests? It'll come in like this. It'll be just out of nowhere. Customer just already has your contact information. They have you on their books as somebody that you can go ask for labels. See, he's not sure if I'm the right one, but he's giving it a shot. Normally he would reach out to Tammy, but she doesn't work here anymore. And he has worked with MSI on projects with prior companies. These are all companies that I used to work with. This company's gone. They went out of business. But he might have been an engineer or material
Just an
purchaser.
employee.
Yeah, material manager at that company, and now he's moved on to another company, and he remembers us, so he's reaching out to us. All right, so he's looking for a custom cut PE foam insert. PE probably means polyethylene. If you don't know what something is, search it. That's what polyethylene looks like. It's an open cell foam, just like regular foam,
Okay.
from what I can tell. All right, so that kind of foam, right up our alley, we can do that. And if it's just cut into that simple shape, that sounds good. Quantities aren't too outrageous. Told you we can do anything from 0 up to like
10,000.
Usually if you get to like 100,000 for big parts, but we're not gonna say no. They usually say no to the pricing when it gets to that point.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at our checklist.
Roto run.
It
What
might
do
be-
he mean by that?
It might be a new company. Let me see. Did I not send the checklist to you? I didn't.
But no, we didn't receive. Well, at least I didn't.
Because I didn't
No, I
get to it.
haven't seen
Check
it.
list. I'll send it. All right, let's use this checklist right now. Copy LJ on it.
Johnny.
Okie dokie.
Okay, I got it now.
All right, so let's go through our checklist and go through this quote request. So that's basically going to be what you would do on the daily. Since y'all have smaller accounts, y'all are going to get most of the new requests, and they're going to come in looking something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what did you say about Roto something? You saw Roto?
The proto run. Could we please get a quote for a proto run and some higher quantities for the following specs?
Okay, so prototype quantities, that's a good prototype quantity. We usually do 5 to 10. Normally, we won't go as high as 20 for a prototype run, but we can include it in this case since he specifies it himself.
What's a proto run?
Prototype run. So it's a smaller run at a different pricing than what it would be for production.
Okay.
Just for them to check that they like what the end product looks like.
Yes, that way they can inspect the cut, see that it's going to work for their application.
Okay.
Because they might not be sure that this material is the best one for what they're using. They're just guessing based on their own experience.
Like a taste.
Mm-hmm.
So you do provide a different quote for a prototype run in this case?
Yes, we provide different pricing for prototypes.
Okay.
They'll usually vary from $300 to $500. If the material is extremely expensive, we might adjust that, but it's usually in that range for a prototype run. We would not charge $500 to make 10 pieces if it doesn't make sense if we're going for the bigger runs,
Okay.
because that might not add up correctly. Because you have to consider the setups, the paying the people in the back. Everybody involved has to be priced out, and that's a much different process than just a simple, oh, here's $500 to make these runs. Here's the price. Okay, so he gives us the material. So back to the checklist. He gives us material call out. He does. Polyethylene foam. Closed cell. He tells us the thickness, overall dimensions. He gives us the outer dimensions, the internal cutout dimensions, and the thickness. So that's 1 and 2 out of the way. Since this is foam, sometimes it can be, there's different colors. Let's see if he says what he wants. He wants it to be PE12- that or equivalent in other colors. I'm not a foam expert, so I don't know what that means. But everything that I look up when I type that in, tells me
I think
it's
it's black.
gray. It's like a gray, dark gray.
That's what I'm getting.
So he says he's not particular or equivalent in another color. So color is not important. So that takes care of number 3. Checklist number 4, quantities. How many does he want? He's very
10
clear
to
about what he
20.
wants. And then check for variable data fields, aka serial numbers. You're not going to run into that much with like gaskets and foams because you can't really print on them.
Mhm.
You might occasionally run into a weird request where they want you to mark a gasket or a foam, but we'll cross that when you get to it. It's a different thing that can be figured out in like prototypes. So all their checklists everything's checked. We can send this in. All right, so we start the process off with sending it off to my estimating team. He might need a file. Let me ask him for the file if he has it. Okay. The drawing is clear, but I kind of want a better file.
What do you
Ask
mean
him.
by the better file?
I want one like the one that we got for. I want a file like this. I want an
Oh.
engineered file. I want it with dimensions called out, materials called out, and they might not even have it. But if they have maybe like a prototype or pre-production file, it'll have a big old red stamp saying "not for production" here. That's still a guidance as to what they want specifically. And this is so that we make everything to spec the way they want it, without any questions, without any doubt on our end what they're wanting.
So that's what it's called, pre-production file. That image that they send you.
So it can be a production file or pre-production. It'll have it stamped on it. If this is the first run, it might be production, and they might not even have a file. He could have just gone and screen grabbed from his software on his computer. He might send me a DXF file that has dimensions stated clearly, because these are kind of hard to read. Yeah, it's in CAD because it says top pane right there. So he just screen grabbed this. He just did this.
Okay.
And I'm asking them, can you send me something that's a little bit easier to read? And if he can't, it's not a big deal. I'll just submit it like that and try to get it later. In the meantime, this is one way to let them know that I'm working on it. So I'm asking them for the file. On the other hand, we can go ahead and send it to estimating already. I'm counting that I'll get a reply back from the customer before estimating gets this quote done. All right, so our job when we send the quote to estimating is to condense all this information into something that they can easily read quickly and write up the quote. So primarily, they want to know how many we're making. So put that. Give them all this information, materials, dimensions, pretty much everything on the checklist. They don't need to know where they came from, all of that. All right, they do need this. That way they can understand a little better what the customer is asking. Okay, so I took everything here, condensed it, has everything they need. And usually when it's the customer, I highlight it red so it stands out. Okay, so this is me telling my estimating team, let me know if the dimensions are not clear. I'm working on the file already. So don't freak out. Okay, so to get a quote, put a Q here, put that little 2 dots, 2 hyphens, and now we're gonna go make one. All right, so what customer is this? InteroTrack. That might be somebody new. We might not have them, so let's go see if we do. They're not in the system, so we're gonna go ahead and need to add them. Let's save my draft.
So every time I send a quote, like a request to the estimating team for they to make a quote, I need to add the Q and 2, I forget the name on in English. What do they call?
Not a semicolon, it's a colon, I think.
Like the semicircles.
Parentheses.
Yeah, colon, it's called a colon.
Okay.
So you add a Q, a colon, and then 2 hyphens. And then in between the hyphens, you're gonna put in your quote number in between it. So like this. It's gonna be Q, semicolon, hyphen, oh, not that. And then
Okay.
1, 2, 3 for the quote number. Well, in this case, our quote number is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then you seal it. And that this combination has to go at the start of the subject line.
Yeah.
You can leave everything else on there, but that specific combination needs to be there.
Got it.
And that's so that our system that we have grabs this email and creates a job ticket for our estimating team to work off of, because they don't work off of the email itself. They only go to the email to get the information that the customer said. But that doesn't tell them what they need to work on. They just go, here's your ticket, here's the reference for the information, things like that.
So right now you need to go to make the quote in order for you to send it to the estimator.
I can't because we don't have an account for them. Yeah. I looked them up, they're not there. So we get them to make an account.
So the customer makes an account with us and they submit information to us.
We have to set up the account. They pretty much just reach out to us first. We're not going to make an account for every person that we reach out to for quotes. Because y'all don't really do the cold call parts, but if y'all were, y'all wouldn't be making an account for every single person that you call. You only set up the account once you get them to talk to you and request a quote. In this case, they're requesting the quote, and we can't get a quote without an account number. So right now I'm telling them, Ethan, just saw that we don't have an account set up for you. Please fill out the attached forms. So and this is where
Okay.
we, and now I got to send him our forms.
So another checklist for us to start to submit the customer information on the CRM.
Right.
Okay.
So I have it here.
Getting the hang of it.
Here, credit. That's an app forms. All right. Okay, we call it the credit application form. In this case, this is a foam gasket, so we're gonna send our MSD form, okay?
Oh, that's true.
So what we care about is page 1, because it's gonna have all of this information that our accounting team needs to set them up. And then these are references that they have to complete if they want to open up a credit line or set up terms with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's where they select the type of terms that they want to set up. Or if they don't want to set up terms, they can send us this. Occasionally, they don't like filling it out and sending it up by email, so we'll have to get on the phone and gather that information. And then we, on our end, will complete this ourselves and then send it to our accounting team so that they can save it. If it's going to be a one-time use or if they want to keep it. And then if it's a one-time use, what job number do they want to use it on? Things like that. All right, so this time I'm sending that over and see what, hopefully he fills it out.
And those forms will be available on the V drive in the customer service folder.
Oh yeah, the B drive.
Yeah.
So in order for the customer to be on the CRM, they need to have a credit.
Yes, they have to have a form of payment set up. Because if you don't, you're going to get to the point where you process an order and it's ready to ship and we don't have a way to get money from them.
And it's under, I'm sorry, Johnny, it's under MSI Tools, the customer
Okay.
service.
So I like having everything parked over here where it's easy to find because
Mhm.
our V drive has a lot of information, guys. There it
Yeah,
is.
I saw.
And then customer tool.
I saw it.
Or is it
Customer service.
CS?
No, it should be under customer service.
Customer service? Okay.
Yes. So you probably need to go, there it is.
All right, here you go, guys.
And it'll be under new customer documents.
You know what? Oh, I do have a pen. Ah. Could have just done that. Okay. So that's one thing. So there's another quote that we can't do anything yet with. Hopefully he replies back and I can get that finished. That's tomorrow's problem now until I hear back from him.
So in the end, you just send him the form.
I sent
That's
him
it.
the
We need
form.
to wait.
Yep. I initially asked him, I need a file if you have it. And then I noticed that we don't have an account. So now I need to set up an account for him. And that's all on him. There's nothing left for me to do. We move on to the next thing.
Nice.
Okay, this guy wants something. What does he want? All right, so this means I have a quote. And I know for me, yellow means I have a question. What was the question? My question was, please confirm the rev that you want me to use for this part. Update your PO is what I'm telling him to do. Here is communication of him internally talking to his engineer. He's still asking for confirmation from his engineers to verify what rev can be used. The engineer replied, we can go ahead with rev B. Okay. I know from memory what I need. And what I need from my buyer is to update the PO to rev B. Sometimes you have to baby your customers a little bit. They're stressed and they have a lot of things going on. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the PO, attach it. I'm going to open the PO. I'm going to screen grab exactly what I need him to update. I believe it doesn't say so. Just going to grab it right here. Currently does not state. And this is important because this avoids us making the mistake of producing the wrong part. Oh, actually it does right here. Material revision A.
You needed a B?
I need it to state B. Okay, so instead of just sending that, I attached everything here so he can not have to look through any other emails. It's clear what I'm trying to get him to do. And I know he has trouble with getting everything over to me in time, so I already know my guy. So I'm trying to help him out.
Nice.
All right, so I sent that over. And there's nothing left to do here. So now there's no longer a question. The question's been answered. Now what I need from him is a revised PO. So now it's a PO that needs to be revised. And I can't do anything until I get it. So now it's marked for tomorrow. Next ticket. All right, so she replied back. Do you want the metal rings on the tag? She says, the ring is what we provided. The right is what she wants. She wants a punch bowl without a metal ring.
Without the metal ring.
Okay. All right. So now you're going to get to see us do the quote. Oh, we still have it open. Perfect. Okay, so we go back into our quote. Since it's recent, we wrote it up on 7/28. I'm going to use the same quote. Mark it P. Explaining what we're going to do on this quote. And the second part that she wanted was she wanted pricing with and without strings. Make sure it's the right buyer. Make sure your contact is the same person asking you for an email. Confirm that's the case. Vicky. Make sure quantities are, she doesn't need any new quantities. I don't know why she included all this information again. Oh, if we would have checked it, we would have answered our own question. No need to have metal eyelet holes. No metal.
Well, at least we confirm it.
Needs strings to be 2 times longer. Can be thinner. Okay. All right, so do the same thing. Do the Q, colon, hyphen, that. Get the quote number. 214022.
I have a question once you finished, if you want the email.
Yeah, just a minute. (4022-2). Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and grab this because it actually has information our estimating team needs. Actually tells them exactly what they want. So they want with and without strings. They want this specifically documented. They want the metal removed. And then the strings need to be longer. Since this is going to go to an outside vendor, I'm going to copy our estimator that deals directly with outside with vendors. That way she gets the ticket right away. Okay. And then I need to make sure the quote is marked P for review. Make sure my buyer is the right one. Quantities didn't change, so we're good there. It's marked P. Send. And that's all you have to do. You don't do anything else with estimating on it. You don't go back and mess with it in any other way. That's it.
So, a question. It's a longer one. In this case, the customer, they were very nitpicky, like very details, like the string can be shorter or something like that. My question is, I don't want to send them like something that is not what they want, right? But I do not send them. I just send the quote to the estimating team, and then the estimating team does it, or what I put on the quote is rule. I just want to know where I can make like the errors, and how can I fix this in case I mess something up.
So the best way for you to try to get all those details across is to not only include them in the initial email that you send, but to add these notes here. So they wanted, the primary thing was they wanted the holes to be without metal, and they needed pricing with and without strings, and they needed to be twice as long.
Yes.
The other detail about this document number version. All right. Needs to include it. Okay. Well, for that, you can go look at attachments. Because we're just going to print whatever their document says. We're not going to add or remove anything extra. So let's go look at their documents. If she wants to add that, she needs to send us a file that has it included.
Okay. So they need to send a file. So,
Yeah, in this case, what did she want it to state? Let's see. And let's open up the photo of what we've sent her. Okay, so this is what we're sending her right here. This is what they're getting. They want this. So
I have a lot of questions, like why do you have that photo? The
She sent
customer already, did she already receive an order?
yeah, this is a prior order. This is a rerun with change at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
Or a replan. It would have been the replan if it was just this. But now that we've reviewed it a little deeper, it's a change because we're going to change the print. It's going to have to include this right here. She wants this included on the top right corner right there.
The customer received an order first, and now he's telling you again to do it again, but instead of doing what you did, now do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that actually changes one key point on our quote that we've reviewed it. It's not a rerun anymore. It is now a rerun with change job right here. So now we got to add a little bit more. Okay. So we're implementing 3 changes on this one. It's a rerun with change, and now we're good.
Okay.
All right. So now that we have it,
Sorry.
now that we have it, we reply back to her and tell her, okay, we understand. In this case, there's 3 changes, so we state that. And that's it. That's done.
So my next question, Jonathan. Once we did all of this for this customer, exactly for Vicky,
Mhm.
you already sent the quote to the estimating team. Now what happens?
That's it. So you send the quote to the estimating team. That's step 1.
Mhm.
You state everything that needs to be done. Then you reply to her and you already cleared up and let her know I've submitted your quote with the 3 changes you wanted, because that's what it was. And that's pretty much it. You can keep an eye on it, but
That's my part. But what happens with the rest of the departments? They send them the things, or
yeah, they'll send the estimate and it'll look like, see if I have one already that came in today. Here you go. So it could be a day or 2, sometimes 3, maybe 4, depending on how backed up they are. You'll get a quote that looks, they'll send out an email of the quote that looks like this. And as in this case, it's actually Vicky again. They'll send her this. It'll come from estimating to the buyer. They'll CC you and the salesperson. And here's the quote you requested. And then here is the attachment of the quote. And then if you open it,
so if the customer notices anything like maybe the string, I put something on the string, but the customer says, hey, that's not what I'm asking. We can change it again, right?
right, which is what happened on this one. This quote is actually the one that we're working on right now. We sent it yesterday, and she says, I want to make some changes.
I get it. I thought that was the final part, and the customer going to receive the things, and I'm scaring like, oh, maybe it wasn't the correct length, something like that. But okay, I get it. So there's still like some leeway, some next steps to follow.
Yeah, because nothing's produced. If nothing's produced, we can change whatever they need. We would rather not go back and forth so much for a quote, but it's our customer. We're going to do what they want.
I get it. I get it.
Next one. Okay. You might have to deal with tariffs because we have to outsource parts from China.
Okay.
This is what this is involving. All right. So one of our production managers in the back is asking me, do you have the tariff for this order? Okay. So she gave me a job number. I'm going to go look it up. Okay, it's due today. I'm checking the tariff line. It's added on there. Okay, so that's a good sign. Now I'm going to go to the attachments and make sure it's included on the PO from the customer. Because I shouldn't have added that price if I didn't already have a PO with it stated. Don't need that. Oh, I guess that other one is important. Let's see. So this one's going to be done differently than what we do normally. He says he doesn't want the tariff billed on his PO. He wants it billed as a separate surcharge on the invoice. Okay. So that's out of the norm. We're going to add a note. Oh, I already did. Tariff will be added to PO after invoicing by customer. Okay. So let's go tell our ladies here that they are cleared to ship. We're going to add our manager because he's the one that greenlit that process.
But all he did is asking you. I'm sorry. I'll let you finish.
Evan?
All he did was asking you for a tariff number, isn't it? On the first email that you open it. Why are you now like clearing on the email? Like,
No, I had asked them include the. I need you to add $380 to your PO to cover the tariff that we're going to charge you. He says, I don't want to add it to my PO. Bill me. And I'm like, that's not how we normally do it. So I got the okay from management to do it that way. And I'm telling them we are okay to ship. He wants the tariff billed as an invoice, kind of like a credit card surcharge. That's how he wants it. He doesn't want it because we normally don't add a credit card surcharge to a PO. That's what he's saying. He's saying, I don't want that added on the PO. I want it on the invoice only. Okay. So we're going to do it that way for him in this case.
is the
They might-
PO?
Mhm.
Is the PO different than the invoice then?
Yes.
I thought they were the same.
No. The PO and the invoice have to match. PO is them giving us an order like let's say you ever gone to a sushi restaurant
Huh?
and you want to order the rolls that you want to eat, you check mark them, click, 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 and then you give it to
Uh-huh.
the server. That's what the customer is doing to us. He's giving us a PO. And then when you pay, you get a receipt that's telling you how much you have to pay. That's the invoice.
Yeah. My bad. I got confused.
Totally different.
Yeah,
This
I
is
got it.
this is what I want. This is how much you got to pay me.
Nice. Got it.
Even though you already know pricing ahead of time, they tell you on the menu. That's our quotes. Okay, where were we? All right, so that one's complete. I've told the ladies they can ship it. Why is this not done? Oh, I left that. Discard that. Okay. All right, so you were asking me what do you do with quotes after they're sent? Here's one good example. Quote sent out. We sent that out back in May. We've been following up with it and no reply. Then our sales guy, Joe, reached out to them and asked him, hey, are you going to be needing it? Customer replied, we didn't win the bid. So Marketing Systems didn't win it. He's saying,
Okay.
thank you for letting me know. Okay, so what we need to do on this end, if Joe hasn't done it already, we're going to go to that quote. It was this one, -1. Yep. He didn't do anything to it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it for him. And he's an outside rep, so he normally doesn't. I'll put quote lost. Did not win bid. What's today's date? Hopefully, let me see if there's any more detail as to why. He didn't ask why. Normally, we would ask if there was a target pricing or anything like that. That's something that either one of y'all can do on your end. Whenever a customer tells you that they don't want to purchase the quote, you can ask them, oh, okay, thank you for letting me know. Any reason why? Did you have target pricing? And then sometimes they'll tell you, sometimes they won't. But you don't know until you ask.
Okay.
If they did say that they had a target pricing, would we have to ask if it is possible to fulfill the order at their target price?
Mhm.
Like go lower?
It doesn't hurt to double check.
Okay.
We could have enough profit that we can meet somewhere in the middle. Maybe we can't meet that pricing itself, or maybe we can. But it doesn't hurt to go ahead and take a second look if it means
Okay,
trying
so
to gain
it
that
would
business.
right. So the quote that we get is not definitely set in stone, and there's some leeway for negotiation.
Yes, sometimes we can
Okay.
negotiate. It all depends
it.
on how we feel about a customer. In this case, this guy, we would negotiate.
And this is something that we would bring up in the end of the meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
you can bring that up either at the 8:30 meeting in the morning. This is more of an, if it's like pricing negotiation, it would be a morning meeting question, because right after the morning meeting question, they have an estimating meeting, and they can keep that
Okay.
fresh. You can probably email it in, and they'll have it there for review.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
So in this case, I mark quote as lost, did not win bid. I might personally ask this guy if there's a target, so I'm gonna mark it as lost. You know what? Let's just go ahead and ask him.
Did we lost all the quotes? I'm sorry, the POs with him?
No, I think they're ABB Monterrey actually.
Because I saw on the CRM like a lot of L's.
So those L's there that you saw were prior quotes. We
Yeah.
bid this quote back in 23, lost it. Tried it again this year and lost it. So let's ask him.
Four quotes lost.
It's 2. They include setup charges. So each line is its own thing. In this case, it's 2 quotes with 2 lines each. So that's why you see 4.
I get
So
it.
it's label set and then setup. Let's see. Maybe he bites. Maybe he doesn't. All right. And since I already marked the quote lost, I did everything on my end. I've reached out to him. Now I've knocked the ball back to him. He has to hit it back. Nothing left for me to do on it. I marked it complete. All right, let's see. He's asking for an update on this quote. He needs to get it ordered. Okay, let's see what's going on. What do y'all see? Status.
Spending.
Yeah, quote's not done. All right, so we can do one of two things. We can just reply quickly and tell him we're still working on it. But he said he's ready to place an order, so let's go find and see who has it. I don't know if y'all are going to have access to this yet, but this is what we're supposed to do. Let's see if somebody has it assigned to themselves and I can just ask them directly. Okay. So,
We've lost like 3 or 4 quotes.
7957.
We
It's still floating out there on its own. I sent it on the 1st. That was last Friday. This Friday. That's 2 days. Today's the 3rd day. I'm gonna send him an email. So in this case, what I'm looking for was to see who has the job or the estimate. Nobody has it. So I'm just gonna make a broad email asking for them to do it.
But what are you waiting on the CRM? Like it's already submit. You already submit the information, the pieces the customer needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the CRM.
So
Mhm.
we're waiting for our guys to review the pricing.
Oh,
So whenever you send the quote out, that's what's happening. They're reviewing pricing. They're checking and making sure that labor cost, material cost, and process cost are going to be the same as what we charged before, or if they've increased, then we need to update our pricing and send the updated quote to the customer. In
okay.
this case, that's what we need to do. Because this quote is, if I remember correctly, what happened to my stuff?
Yeah, that's completely.
Might be an email.
I didn't realize it was or else I would have.
I got too much stuff open.
Yeah. Spin it into something. Hey, part 3. Yeah. A little more efficient way. Something.
There you go.
Sorry, I was moving quickly and I saw the lost quotes.
Okay, there it is. All right, now we're back on track. So I'm making clearly stating the quote that I need worked on. Let them know what they want. They're ready to place the order for it. If it was like day 1, I wouldn't do this, but it's like day 3, so doesn't hurt to ask.
And Jonathan, what are your like? how do we get evaluated like by the end of the month or week, or what are your KPIs or something like that?
I don't believe we have that set up. That's up to LJ and Sheila and management to inform for you.
Oh, okay.
My goal is to have none of this.
Okay.
All of these check marks, I should have none for today at the end of the day. Are
And
you going to
tomorrow you're gonna
accomplish?
have.
I want to move all of these to tomorrow. That's my goal. We focus more on the sales value. That's pretty much our gauge or KPIs, as you would say. It would be like this. This is what kind of gives us a little guidance as to how we're doing. So,
Like how do I know if I'm going good or?
yeah. So this is what I usually use if I'm doing good or not. I have no sales today. That's not good. Yesterday I had 10. The other team members had these. Okay.
I don't know. Okay.
Sheila already has 44. That came from this customer. So I have some catching up to do this week. The other one that really tells you how you're doing for the month as a whole is this one. This one tells you where you're at for the month. So I'm not doing that great. Everybody else is already at 23, at 10 for the month. The goal is to at least hit 100 of whatever is designated for your goal. So that's the marker or the gauge of how you're doing order-wise. But for y'all, it might be something different because you're going to be dealing with the smaller customers that mostly try new things, or they only order once every 2 years, sometimes 3. So it'll be kind of hard to gauge year to year what the goal should be. But that's up
Okay.
to them to figure out. I'm not
Yeah,
management.
I see. I just
I'm
want
not
to know
management.
how you do.
The other thing that there's probably will really that'll gauge how you're doing is response time. If the customers feel like they're getting correct replies back, they're being interacted with, you keep them updated. Specifically with late orders, that's the most sensitive thing that you're going to be dealing with. Or in this case, how do you diffuse him being mad about an order? So here's what I would say. So you've set the expectation. You've let him know that you see him and that you are trying to work on his quote. If it's not issued today, hopefully by tomorrow, because tomorrow will be the 4th day. That quote should totally be done by then. But we're estimating is a little overwhelmed right now, so it might not happen. But I'll deal with that when that happens.
That's where we come in.
That's where we come in. That's our job, to delay and buy time. And since there's nothing left for me to do, I sent out the email. I replied to him. That's done.
So we have
else?
about a few minutes left. So is there any questions that y'all have for Johnny or anything? I know y'all been asking throughout the session, but anything that's particular?
I ask him like 100 questions.
That's okay. You got to learn. If you don't know anything about this, it's a lot.
Yes.
Did anything not make sense or still confusing about the flow of the work process?
For me, it's a lot clearer. I think
Yes,
we
I'm here.
were moving in a good direction.
Okay.
I just
so
had a quick question. Do you also have this on your phone, or do you usually just have it on your laptop?
I have emails on my phone, but it's kind of hard to do.
Hmm. It's
Simply
easier to
because
load it to the emails, right?
I can't do this job on my phone because I need access to this.
Right.
I use 2 screens for this whole entire
Okay.
job, so I'm going back and forth between information. It's kind of hard to gather all those details from just emails and phone. You
Okay.
do need to have a PC to be able to do this properly.
Okay. Thanks.
Um,
So there wouldn't be much use in having it in the phone, right?
Not really, unless you needed an extra screen for like other little things, like
Okay.
this. Where's my estimates planning? A phone might be useful for this part.
Mhm.
Like you want to go to the estimating, or you want to look at, like I did earlier, I searched the quote to see who had it. Things like this. The Teams aspect, you can use your phone on.
Okay.
Things like that, or you want to check on how you're doing. You load up your sales for the day. So mostly the phone, Teams is the most useful thing on the phone.
Okay. And so as far as permissions, authorization, it is something that is allowed.
If you're using Teams, yeah.
Okay. In Teams. Got it. Thank you.
So quotes come in. Y'all are going to be mostly working with newer customers. So quotes will be coming, they'll reach out to you. You check and see if they already have an account. If they don't, you go ahead and send them the information to set up an account.
Hmm.
If they do have an account, you make sure that you're the one that's assigned to it.
Hmm.
And if you're not, then you find out who is. And if there's nobody assigned, then I guess it's yours now.
Okay.
And then from there, you go through the quoting process. You ask them all the questions. You go through your checklist. Make sure you gather as much information as possible so that the quote doesn't get stalled. And once you send it out, it's out of your hands until one of two things.
Receive a reply.
The customer reaches out to you asking for an update, like Renee just did. And then he lets you know if it's really hot or why he needs it. And you can request for your quote to be prioritized if needed, depending on the value of it and the customer's standing.
Mhm.
We might not be able to do that a lot for some of your customers. They'll be newer, and they only buy maybe like $500 or $1,000 every year.
Yeah.
So that might not be one that we have to prioritize. So you might need to learn to
Diffuse.
delay tactics and diffuse.
Yeah. Got it.
But at the end of the day, it's constant contact with them that wins you the day. That's what I believe they want from you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. This has been a lot clearer. Thank you.
You mentioned something right now, Jonathan, like a small checklist, real quick. Like we get a quote request, check if the customer is already on the CRM. If not, well, we send him the form so we can submit it to the CRM.
Mhm.
After we submit it to the CRM, we send the quote to the customer, and then you say something else. I think.
You wait for the quote to be sent out, or
To this.
slash delay
Uh,
if they're asking for their quote quickly.
okay.
After the quote's issued, your job is to follow up
Okay.
and ask for the sale.
And that's where the estimating department and all the other things came in, right?
Yeah, that's after everybody's done their job and sent the quote in. After that, it's back on your plate, and you got to try to get the PO from the customer. And if you don't get the PO or you don't win the bid, find out why and what we can do to win it. Sometimes there's nothing left to do.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And then we'll gather the data, and that'll tell us in the future what if it's a good lead or not.
That makes sense.
Okay. I think that's it for today's session. If again,
Thank you.
Jay and Daniel, we will be meeting again later on this afternoon, just to go over the rest of the day that you have been with everybody today.
Yep.
And again, just keep asking questions. You can always send Johnny a chat in the Teams as well too, if you have any questions regarding the session.
Okay, thank you. And review the recording.
Oh, and I'll send you the link to the recording as well too, just to review it as well.
We
Thanks a
have
lot.
a meeting with Sheila. Sheila, right?
Yes, this afternoon.
Got it.
Thanks a lot, Jenny.
Okay, don't be scared to reach out to me. Send me chats, ask me questions, send me emails if you got questions.
You're the best, Johnny. Thank you.
Thanks
Okay.
again.
Thanks, Johnny.
Bye-bye.
Bye.